Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jarrod Glant, and this is Young Hustlers, where on Thursdays at noon, this is the spot that you come if you want to get access to tips and strategies to get you where you want to go faster in life. 11 years now, I've been working at the right hand of Mr. Grant Cardone and had really a front row seat to the empire going from like literally $3 million a year to in the billions now. So it's been an insane ride. It's been an insane trip. And when I come here on Young Hustlers, my goal is to share with you some things that I've seen along the way that hopefully you can take and run with and get to where you want to go faster. Everybody's going to have some type of success in their life. Just depends on how big you want it and how quick you want to get it there. And so I hope I can speed things along for you today. I wanted to talk today about 3 things that are required for you to win big. And, you know, this is going to be a little bit more of less of a like tactical, like, hey, go make this call and say this episode, and more just like I think what I was thinking when I was coming up with this topic was, like, I just want you to take a step back and try to look at your situation now from the outside and look at where you've been, where you've come from, where you want to go, and ask yourself, in each of these 3 categories, how do you rank? Like on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you rank yourself in each of these areas? Because these 3 things are vital if you want to win big. If you want to do anything remarkable, like if you're okay with an average win, some people are, not going to hold it against you, but if you want a remarkable win, if you want a big win, if you want something that's just spectacular, then you have to constantly be looking at yourself and evaluating, like, where am I at? Where am I going? What obstacles are in my way? What am I doing to overcome them? What's the plan? Like, you have to be super aware of the journey that you're on. And so I wanted to share these 3 things with you. I'm just going to come out and shoot the shot from the beginning and just give you all 3, and then we'll spend the rest of the show talking about them. So the very first thing that you have to have is you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right mindset. I told you I was going to give you all 3, but I'm not. I decided not to. So you've got to have the right mindset. Like, and for I think some people, like, maybe mindset has different definitions, but for me, mindset is how you view life, like how you are looking at the life that you have been given. We've all been given one life. Maybe for some others have more, but I've only figured out how to do the math on one life right now. Like, are you pessimistic? Are you optimistic? Do you think big? Do you think small? Have things that happened along the way in your life influenced the way that you make decisions today? Are you a unreasonable, gotta get it done, I'm unstoppable type person? Or are you the type of person who, when little disruptions come or the plan changes a little bit, it's hard for you to audible and to react and to change course? You know, are you an excuses person or are you an actions person? And I think that really diving into these elements of your mindset and how you view life is critical, because really, without these things, what happens next is going to be next to impossible. Having the right mindset allows you to frame the ideal life that you want to create in the right magnitude. It allows me to go, what do I really want? Well, I want to be worth $100 million by the time I'm 50. Okay, so that's 12 years. Like, what has to change now for me to get there? Like, number one, am I even committed to that target? Like, how committed am I to that target? Am I willing to do whatever it takes? Am I willing to burn the ships to get there? Not burn bridges. You need bridges. Burn the ships to get there. Like you have to identify, like, where is it that you want to go? And I think that a lot of people have problems when you start talking about big think, and you start talking about the choices and freedom and options, or jets, or travel, or, I think that a lot of people have failed to ask themselves the question of what they really want. And this is something that I talk about a lot with friends, with family, with you guys, with customers. clients. Like, you have to understand what you want. And too many people do not spend the time to figure out what they actually want. Because if you watch this show, or you watch Grant, or you follow Grant, you are going to be delivered a message that is being spoken to you by a man, that like big, massive success and wins that is the only security. And like if you can't get on board with that, then you're going to have disagreements with a lot of the stuff that we talk about. You're going to wonder why you have to make calls like this, or why you have to work like this, or why you have to do this, or why you have to get rid of these friends or those friends, or why you shouldn't be going out to happy hour and getting drunk every night. Like you just have to decide what you want. And then you have to follow people that represent what you want. And hopefully you guys have made that choice, and that's why you're here, and that's why you follow the show, and that's why you follow Grant, is because you're like, hey man, I want to do something big. So this is like the warning sign. Like if you don't want to do something big, like if you don't want to be the first person in your generation, in your family, to do something significant, then some of this information, this might not be the right place for you. Some of this information might hit you the wrong way. Like if I would have thought that $300,000 a year was all the money that I ever wanted to make, I would have given up a long time ago. I would have quit pushing so hard a long time ago. But I knew that I wanted something bigger and something more, and that's why I wasn't willing to stop at that point. And so what I'm saying here is that like the mindset that you have and the way that you approach your life needs to be based on an outcome that you're pushing for. And it has to be yours. It can't be somebody else's, because if you have somebody else's target as yours, you're going to find a lot of reasons along the way to jump off course because you're not truly committed to the target. And so, like, you need to answer these questions for yourself. Like, how big do you want to go? What do you actually want in life? How do you handle problems when they come up? Does it ruin your day? Does it wreck your day? Or do you find a way to just pivot and move? Or are you somewhere in between? Do you take responsibility for the things that are going on around you? Like all of these things are the things in my mind that create the mindset that you view life through. And without a mindset that is supportive of the thing that you want, like without a mindset that is pushing behind a goal and a target that you believe in, you're really going to end up a little bit lost. And I remember that because when I was 18 to 24 years old or 25 years old, like it was a weird time for me because I was like really into having fun and hanging out with my friends, and I really gave very little attention to what I actually wanted to get out of life. And it was like, looking back now, I'm like, man, those few years that I had in there, if I would have been focused, if I would have decided at that point, if I would have had some of these conversations like we're having right now, if I would have asked myself some of these questions back then, man, I'd be so much further along than I am right now. Because for a long time, for like 6 years, I was pushing in all these weird directions, and it wasn't really getting me where I wanted to go. So you have to figure out what you want. You have to figure out how big you want to go, because if you have mentors and people around you and you want to do big things and they are okay with small or average things, then you need to get rid of them. And if you want to make $100,000 a year and that's your target and you think that's going to solve all the problems that you're going to have in the world, number one, I would advise you to do just some more research. I think that might solve some today problems, but down the road you will end up with the same problems again. But you need to follow people that will support that, so that you don't have a whole lot of conflict in your life. At least that's what me. I'm a Libra, so I don't really like a whole lot of conflict, So that's, Nathan's shaking my head. He knows what I'm talking about. So, like, develop your mindset. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you rate yourself? How do you rate your mindset? You thinking the right things? You around the right people? You making the right choices? Are you doing the things that you don't want to do because you know that they'll get them where you want to go? These are all mindset questions. And you need to rank yourself and score yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 here. This is really important. And then anything short of 10, you need to figure out, like, what do I need to do to get to a 10? Like, I'm probably a 7 on mindset, you know? Like, I don't know what 10 looks like, but I know I ain't 10. Like, I know some people that are 10 all the time, all in, maybe 9s, man. I don't know. You guys know people that are just like freaks, like where they're just like all in all the time. They don't take any, they're just completely full on committed. Like, do you know people like this? Yeah, I mean, but you know, he would probably score himself an 8. You know, like even he is all in, and when he's in, he's going. But like, he has times when he's not in. Like, I don't know if 10 out of 10 all the time is possible, but I do know that when you have all these other things figured out, where you want to go, what you want to do, how big you want to go, you do not view obstacles as a thing that can stop you or slow you down. Excuses are not a part of your vocabulary. Problems come up and you know that there's an opportunity in them. You're optimistic about things working out. Like when you start pulling all these things together, although they may not be 24/7, 365, like if you're in there, like you're 8.5 probably, you know, 8.5 or 9 out of 10. So number one is you have to start developing your mindset. And if you have deficiencies there, if you have questions there, then you need to figure out like what those big things are. Like mindset, if you can identify excuses, like if you just put in parentheses, like what excuses am I making? That would fall under mindset problems that you need to solve for yourself. But this was a big one for me. And for me, when I was getting started with Grant and I was making no money, a couple grand a month, I was sleeping on an air mattress for a year that would start losing steam about 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd start getting closer and closer to the ground. You guys done the air mattress thing, you know what I'm talking about. And for some reason, that mattress was always cold, too. Like, I had blankets beneath, blankets on top. I could never get warm in that thing, you know? I needed, like, a heating blanket or something. But I've been there before. Like, I've been there, and I just know that I had developed the mindset then that was like, I'm going to do big things. I'm going to go big places. I'm going to have huge targets. I'm not going to settle for average. I want to get to a land of indestructible wealth. And then I started taking actions that supported that. And I stayed committed to that. And even to this day, 11 years later, I'm still committed to that. And I still show up every day and I'm trying to figure out like, hey, what's the next big thing? How do we go from 150 million to 300 million? Like, those are decisions that change my life. And so when I go, I'm like, I'm going to bed at night thinking, how do we double the size of the company? How do we double company revenue? Because I'm clear on where I want to go. Mindset, right? So number one is mindset. Number two, and this is where people start falling off, is skill set. Dude, what skills do you need? What skills are you lacking? You figure out this grand plan of where you want to go, what you want to do, who you want to be there with. Like, that requires money. Like, you gotta confront the boogeyman at some point and realize, like, I gotta figure out a way to make more money. And the skills are the things that get you there. It's so funny because we have an event in the classroom the other day. We do events here in our classroom in Miami. 50 to 100 people, workshops, 2-3 days where we're like really digging down deep into people's businesses. We have 10x 360 here. Right now, these folks all pay $40,000 to come sit in a room for 2 days with Brandon Dawson, the Cardone Ventures team, and they basically rip apart their business and rebuild it the way that the business should have been built from the start so that it can grow and have a really, really strong, solid, scalable foundation. We've got another room over there with 9 business owners in there who all paid $150,000 to platform their business. So now they're like, okay, hey, I've made these decisions about my business. How does the plan actually come together? So we're doing a lot of education to folks on how they can grow their business in our classroom. They're learning skills. They're learning new skills that they didn't have. And a lot of times people are learning skills, but they never actually learn them. They consume the information, but they never actually learn the skill. meaning they can duplicate it. And that's a huge deficiency that people have when they come to events or they buy programs or they go buy courses or they go to college. Like, they learn things, but they don't learn how to do any of those things. And so you got to look at your skill set on a scale from 1 to 10. Like, how good am I doing at learning something new and then putting it into work? And then are the skills that I'm actively learning going towards something that I want in the future? Like, I'm blown away right now. My 4-year-old is learning Spanish in his school. He has Spanish class, he has Mandarin class, and he has Italian class. He's learning 3 languages right now. Half the time he's saying stuff, I'm like, dude, you're making that up. Like, he's talking to me in Mandarin. I'm like, that ain't real words, man. You're making all that up. And then I go and I look at the exercises that they did, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. And it gets me excited because I'm like, man, imagine if I could communicate in 4 different languages. And then I start thinking with like, man, how does that help me get to the goals that I have? If I could communicate in those different languages. And then I start thinking, man, I got to get, what's the Babbel? What's the app where you learn how to that teaches you how to do another language? Duolingo. But like, dude, he's learning skills right now. I didn't take a Spanish class until I was in 5th grade. I was public school educated. I don't think, maybe 6th grade, I didn't take a Spanish class until 6th grade. And they got kids, like, he's learning this stuff at 4 years old. Like, it's amazing. What are the skills that you need? You need to become a better salesperson. You need to figure out marketing. You need to figure out how a business operates. You need to figure out how to scale something. You need to figure out how to hire and recruit people. You need to figure out how to organize people. You need to figure out how to make a company work. Like these are all skill sets that you have to have. And what happens is, and I see this happen all the time with salespeople that work with us, they stop developing new skill sets. They reach a point where they're like, I've got the mindset right, I'm building out the skill set, but the skill set will only take them so far until they need to add new skills. And if they're not adding new skills, then what happens is they start thinking, I'm stuck. I'm not going anywhere. Because no new skills are coming in. They're not learning anything new, which means they're not growing any further. The deals that they're closing can't get bigger because they can't communicate on a different level. They can't think about how I'm going to go out and I'm going to start my own business and I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing. Some do, but it's the ones who get outside of just the sales role and they go, I'm going to figure out this marketing thing. I'm going to figure out this people thing. I'm going to figure out how a company actually works and how to get websites built and how to collect leads. And I'm going to figure out this digital marketing thing. Like they learn new things. And so if you're not learning new things, if you're not developing your skill set, colleges do not teach you this. Like we were in one of these workshops and I was talking to somebody and I was like, man, I literally don't remember anything that I learned from college. Like I remember being there. I remember the first couple years I was like, man, this feels like high school all over again. And then I started taking business classes, but then I don't really remember any of it. And I'm like, well, what good was that? Like, because I remember when I got my first sales job, I'm like, how is sales forecasts? How is macroeconomics? Like, how are all those things preparing me for this sales thing that I had right now? Maybe it's just because I didn't learn anything in school, and that's why I didn't go get a better job, and I ended up being a sales guy, was because I'm like, I didn't learn anything. But man, there are some skills you have to have. You need to learn how to market today. You have to figure out the online thing today, the digital thing. It is the way that business is done. We have a sales team that does phenomenal work. But the business that they generate only represents 30% of the revenue of the company. And it's the marketing engine that this company operates in that provides the opportunities for the sales team to sell. So there is shifts happening. And so you've got to learn the people thing. You got to learn how to talk and communicate to people. That is including the sales thing, which means you've got to figure out how to make a presentation, ask people good questions, present a product in a way that shows that it solves problems that you uncovered because you asked good questions. And then you have to make sure that people buy the product. You got to be able to ask for the business and follow up when they don't. Those are skills that you got to have. You know, if you understand sales and you understand marketing right now, you could be terrible at operating a business, but if you understand those two things really well, you can make enough money to hire somebody who understands organization and operations. I see it all the time in the digital marketing space that I'm in. I know people that make a lot of money online, 25, 30, 40, 50, 100 million bucks a year selling stuff online, and most of them are not great operators. Most of them are great salespeople and great marketers, and then they have people who know how to operate things running their business. And this is not a foreign concept. Like some of the biggest companies in the world have visionaries as the CEO, but these people couldn't run a job interview. They couldn't hire anybody. They just go into like freak land about product and how to market it to people. Like Steve Jobs. Like everybody hated Steve Jobs. But he built one of the largest companies in the world because he had this crazy visionary, I'm going to build something, his mindset, right? His mindset was just like, I'm going to ding the universe. So like the sales and marketing thing, you've got to know now. Like if you would have talked to me 5 years ago, I'd say figure the cold call out, like bang the cold calls out, make the calls, do the work. You have to build a lot of that to help with the mindset piece. Because once you can make a cold call, like literally the world unlocks. You can do whatever you want. You can call anybody. You can do anything. But now it's like, man, if you can't provide more opportunities at a faster rate through the marketing efforts of your company, then you're going to grow slowly. And slow's not fun for anybody. You know, slow is painful. Slow puts you at risk. You know, if you're making 50 grand a year, 60 grand a year, and you're adding $10,000 of income to your year, you're trending the right direction. But the problem is 10 years from now, you're making 160 grand a year, not 60, and 160 grand a year, depending on where you live, could still put you at risk if something bad were to happen. The economy rolls over, another pandemic happens, you lose your job, blah, 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 blah. Right? So, like, you've got to start figuring out these skill sets that you need to win in life. And business skills, people skills, organization skills. Like there's a whole world outside of just selling somebody on the phone that you got to figure out, or getting behind a camera and shooting a video. You got to figure out like how to build things on, because the more skills that you have, guess what? The more valuable you become. Like we have a guy that's doing some work with us right now, and he does the work of 4 people in our office, and he's one guy. Why? He's got skills. He's got skills in this, and this, and this, and this. Like those utility players, like they're freaking, like those are the people that you want to have on your team. So mindset number 1, rate yourself, scale of 1 to 10. Let me know where you're at. Put it in the comments. Skill set, scale of 1 to 10. Where are you at? Number 3, this is the big one. The big D. Discipline. Discipline is doing what you don't want to do because you know it will get you where you want to go. Discipline is sticking to the plan when you know that there's wild stuff happening in your head. Like, discipline is doing the right things, knowing that over time you're going to get the result that you're looking for. Like, discipline is everything. And it takes a lot of discipline to keep things together for a long period of time. And that's why it's so important to figure it out. Like, if you're leaving things open and unfinished, if you're not getting stuff done, if you have been saying, I'm going to lose weight for years and years and years, but you've never done it, like, discipline is a problem. Now, you got the right mindset, you got the right skill set. Like I know people who have enough of a skill set to where they have to do very little to make money. But if they had the discipline they had the mindset behind it, and they were grinding, they'd make millions. But maybe that's not their goal. That's why I said the mindset thing at the beginning is important. You got to figure out what you want. You know, the worst thing that could possibly happen is for somebody who wants to make millions but doesn't want to do the work to do it simply because they don't want to get more discipline. They don't want to stiffen their discipline. You need to rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. What is your score? Mindset, skill set, discipline. These are 3 things that you have to have if you want to win in life. And there's no getting around them either. So I came into this because I was like, hey, look, I want people to take a step back and go, how am I doing in these areas? Like, I believe that self-evaluation and analysis and self-awareness is one of the most powerful skills, traits that you can have because it gives you the ability to critique yourself. Like, I love, like, great job is not as effective for me as you did this wrong, and this wrong. Like, I don't need a great job. I need a fix this, this, and this. That's how I learn. Because in my own mind, I rarely celebrate anything. Like, I don't like birthdays. I'm not a big celebrator. And maybe that's an unhealthy thing. I don't know. But it's working out so far. We do great. I'm like, great. That's what we're supposed to do. We have a record month. Awesome. Great job, everybody. You guys did a great job. I want to celebrate for the team. In my own mind, I'm like, that's what we're supposed to do. That's just my mindset because of where I want to go. So we have a great month. We do a great deal. We do a webinar and do $2 million of sales in 3 hours. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, hey guys, that's great. You guys did a great job. I know everybody had to come together to put this thing together and do all the work done. In my head, I'm like, this is what you're supposed to do. So like, this mindset thing bleeds through everything else. But the discipline is really the thing that at the end of the day, that is the thing that through the ebbs and flows, it keeps pushing you. Because everybody, I don't care who you are, goes through this. Here, you're like, oh, this is the best thing ever. I love what I'm doing. I'm going to do it forever till the day that I die. And then this is like, man, I don't know if I'm feeling this anymore. I don't know if my heart's really in it. And then you come back up here and you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. I love what we do. We're doing this. We're doing that. Everything's great. And then you come back down. Like, this is normal. Like, this is a normal thing to happen with people over time. Now, the difference is how long those times are. How long are you down here for, right? Like, what you really want it to look like is you want it to look like this. Like, man, things are great, things are great, things are great. Oh, things are great, things are great, things are great. Oh, you fell down here. Things are great, things are great, things are great. Pandemic, grandmother dies of COVID, boom. And then you got to build your way back up. Okay? Discipline is the thing that makes this happen. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Grant is one of the most disciplined people I know. Like, he is like, when it comes to doing the things he doesn't want to do, when he doesn't want to do them, like, this guy is like a superhero, like, when it comes to that. Because, like, the thing that I'll ask him to do that I know for sure, I'm like, this is the last thing he wants to do right now. He'll pull it up inside of him. He'll be like, Jarrod, you son of a bitch for making me doing this. And then he'll do it. So discipline is the difference maker. So mindset, scale of 1 to 10. Where are you at? What are your weak points? What are you going to do about it? Number 2, skill set. What are your weak points? What are you going to do about it? Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Discipline. Where are your weak points? What are the things that cause you to lose discipline? What are the things that cause you to dip down? Is it people? Is it drugs? Is it drinking? Is it girls or guys? Like, what is the thing that causes you to go into a point where you lose discipline? And then you need to start pulling those things out. That's why I don't hang out with a lot of people. Like, I don't have a big, like, I'm not in the competition to have the most friends. Like, I'm in the competition to get that thing that I want, because that's my mindset is, this is the thing that I want to do. Like, I want to be able to leave something that generations benefit from. Like, I want to be the guy. And, you know, maybe life's going to be harder for me than everybody else that comes after me, but you know what? I hope it is. I hope it's harder for me than it will ever have to be for anybody else in my family that comes after me. Because I made the sacrifices and did the right thing and developed the mindset, the skill set, and I had the discipline over a long period of time to create something that would allow them to benefit and them have more decision and them have more choices. See, that shit's exciting to me. And that's the thing that makes me go, okay, hey, what else do I need to learn that's new? Do I need to learn how to build ads on Facebook or build ads in Google or go in and figure out Google Analytics? I don't know how to do any of that stuff, but I will. If I didn't have awesome, talented people around me that knew how to do that stuff, like, I'd be figuring it out on my own. So, I think we got some callers. Let's go to the phones.
All right, you got David from Ocala.
David, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's happening, Captain? Happy Thursday, sir.
Yeah, good to have you on here, man.
No doubt. Appreciate it, sir.
You got a question?
Thursday and sorry, coming in a little fuzzy.
Yeah, man. You got a question for the show? We're talking about mindset, skill set, and discipline on a scale from 1 to 10. How do you rank yourself in each of those areas?
As of right now, all around, I want to rank myself super low. I feel unfocused. I feel unmotivated. It's been a hell of a year, so I want, as honest as I can be, I want to feel like I'm a 3 right now, a 10.
You're a 10 for all 3. Is that what you
I'm
said?
Working on it.
I'm
definitely working on it.
You're working on it, but what's your number? Mindset, 1 to 10.
Right now, a 3.
Mindset,
a 3.
You're a 3 skill set.
Oh, man. 3 right now because I know I do better.
Discipline. Your discipline's got to be a 1 if your mindset and your skill set are 3s.
Okay, I'll take that.
So, dude,
I'll
you got to.
definitely take
How old are you, David?
Turned 35 this past October.
Bro, you got to get your shit together.
You ain't lying. That's why I called.
Yeah. So you need to figure out, dude. You need to figure out how to, like, mindset. I'll tell you what. Mindset without learning anything new. Hang around different people.
I'm trying. That's one of the hardest things I'm finding. Most of the time where I find my habits, I've been told I was dyslexic when I was little. So ever since then, this past 5 years, I've been trying to just read. So in the morning time, I've been trying to get up earlier just so I can break that 15 minute of.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell you something?
Time,
can I tell you something? Just so you know.
Yes, sir.
Damon John is dyslexic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did pretty well for himself, right?
No doubt.
Yeah, dude, don't beat yourself up on that. And that's just one example off the top of my head of somebody I know personally. Like, you need to go figure out all the people like that, because that ain't a problem, bro. There's a gift in there that's hidden that you maybe just hadn't found yet. But like you need to start looking at, number 1, who are you hanging out with? Are you hanging out with people that are not like-minded? If so, you have to eliminate them. If you want to make, what's your ideal income?
My goal right now is $1,000 a day.
You want to make $1,000 a day, so you want to make $360,000 a year. That's your target.
Yes, sir. I doubled my income from being an automotive mechanic. I became a signing agent, and last year I broke $70,000 second year in business. Dude,
good for you, bro. You're heading the right direction. Discipline's going to keep that graph moving up. But, dude, anybody that's not on track, if you got people that are hanging around you in Ocala who are making $65,000 a year, and they're going out to happy hour every night, and they're getting drunk, and they're chasing women if you're single, like, you need to get away from that for at least 2 years.
I would say for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, for the rest of your life, but you need 2 years to get your shit together. You need 2 years. Like, I believe that with the right mindset, the right skill set, and the right discipline, 2 years could change anybody's life. like in a significant way. Like all I know, and I'm just telling you this personally because it took me 4 years when I started working for Grant, 26 years old, I was a millionaire by 30. And I spent 2 years just getting my shit together. And then I spent 2 years actually banging money out. So, like, I believe it can happen quicker than that. I think I'm just a slow learn for some things. But, dude, number one is you got to look at all the people around you. I'm telling you, like, if you just eliminate people around you that are not supportive of the track, like if you said, hey, man, I want to make 500 grand a year, and I'm going to be changing my lifestyle in order to do that. And you went to the 10 people that you spend the most time with and you told them that, what would they say?
They're getting hungry. Every morning I got a little group chat with my buddies that we're all on the same price range.
Good.
So every day, like happy Thursday, every day, happy Tuesday, every day, $1,000 a day. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
There you go, dude.
Sometimes I don't feel that. I feel like I'm the only one yelling though.
Yeah, well then you're in the wrong group.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like people if y'all are going out hunting at the beginning of the day, how long is it going to be before you stop taking the guy that don't come back with anything?
Yeah.
Like you want cheerleaders or you want fucking killers around you?
We're hungry. I want people hungry.
Dude, you want to see, dude, it helps you to see people win too. So, like, you got to get people around you, like graphs, production graphs, money graphs. Like, dude, your life graph should be going like that. And that means better. Your graph should be going up. Like, you doubled your income up. You made more money last year. Like, this is what your graph looks like right now. Mindset, skill set, discipline is going to make that happen again this year. And again the next year, and again the next year, and your graph's going to keep going up. Like, if you're in a situation where you're stalled out and you're flatlining and you're not growing, I promise you, it's the people around you, it's the things that you're putting into your head, it's the skills that you don't have, or it's the discipline that you're lacking.
A little bit of everything.
So, man, it sounds like you're on the right track. You're doing the right things. You've come a long way. Doubling your income to get to 70 grand in a year is awesome. You just got a little taste, dude. And I just start saying, you know, $1,000 a day is a pit stop. You need to get to $5,000 a day.
No doubt. The first initial goal was 120, so $500 a day.
Yep. I love that.
So I sort of called because on two things. One, it's been a hell of a year. I went from that 70,000 last year to possibly this year. I mean, talking maybe pennies compared to last year. I was in the hospital for 2 months. So I'm trying to get back on my groove now. Had a back surgery and a blood infection. And just trying to get back on my grind. Feels like it's put me in a mental block. So I'm trying to get back on my routine, morning routine and everything like that. But my biggest problem that I realized when I left the hospital was there was no one there to reproduce my income. Like, I had office work jammed all the way until December, and the whole reason why I got into this industry was instead of being a real estate agent, becoming something else. You're telling me all I had to do was become a stock agent, and I could sit at the table, see the deals, and move everything. So that's where I started my foot. I can get in with the lenders. I can get in with title agents. I can get in with brokers, what have you. So I always thought that was going to be my best spot. Everyone's always told me I should be a salesman. I try to stay positive all the time. But my biggest reality was there's nothing coming in. Now I feel like I'm 6 steps back, and all I want to do now is max out my credit card and get the offer that I was just watching with Grant on the live.
The real estate program.
Yes. So the stack on that, or just buy a stack and invest just straight up with the non and credit it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just like, yo, I should just max this shit out and just start the move again.
Yeah, dude, have you been through Cardone University yet?
No, yo, bro.
Let me just tell you something. If you're down to your last $1,000, spend it on Cardone University, not the real estate program. Like, you need to get skills right now, dude. Like, that's the thing that will allow you to, like, I'm getting your vibe. Like, you're the type of person I think people feel real comfortable with. I think in a sales job, you'd crush it. But I think
I was wanting to come down there and work. I was like really, literally, like a couple weeks ago, I'm like, yo, just hop in the truck, take a pillow and a blanket with you, head down there, get a sign, yo, I'll work for free for $1,000. Like, I was like, yo, maybe I got to go. Like, I was getting ready to tell my daughter bye. I need to level up.
Yeah. Well, dude, if you want to level up, you got to skill up. I'm just telling you, like, if you're gonna invest in something, go do this. Go to 10xwebclass.com. Go to 10xwebclass.com and watch that. It's a free training Grant put together. 4 things you need to know about money if you want to ever have any. Check that out. It's free. You'll dig it. But do focus on building skills. Like, skills are what you need now, because your personality, all that, it will only get you so far before you got to actually start getting better at what you do. I hope.
Because even on my taxes the last 2 years, I felt like there's something missing. Like, there's something I don't know. Like, I'm trying to learn tax laws. I'm trying to learn this. I'm trying to learn that. And just trying to get there seems like the hardest part. Like, in my head, I feel like I can go today, make a meal, but yet still I don't accomplish it.
Yeah, well, then you could be in the right. Go back and watch a show on Are You in the Right Vehicle? I did a podcast on that a while back, dude. I'd encourage you, bro. Go to 10xwebclass.com, watch that training, get hooked up on Cardone University, because that will give you the skill set you need. And then you need to stop everything else. Like, skills mean you learn something, you take it, you apply it, and you see it working. If you learn something and you're not able to put it to work, then you got a broken, flawed skill development system. If you learn something, you put it to work, and it doesn't work, that means you haven't figured the skill out yet, unless you got bad data, which, depending on the source that you get it from, it could be the case. We got good stuff. It works. Thanks so much for the call, dude. Appreciate you and wish you the best in the coming year. Who we got next, Johnny?
All right, we got Bam Dad from Italy.
Bam?
Dad.
Bam Dad.
Are you in the right vehicle?
Bam Dad. Hello. Next.
All right, we have Sean from ATL.
Sean, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for the call today.
Absolutely.
So, dude, check this out. Mindset, skill set, discipline. Rate yourself each of those on a scale from 1 to 10.
Honestly, I would say mindset 2, skill set 4, and discipline 1.
Wow. Yeah, I know, dude. This is a problem for people. What do you think you need to do to correct your course right now?
Honestly, I think you nailed it on the head with the other guy. Just start hanging around the right people, because I want to start my own CBD business. And, you know, I've watched Grant Cardone, I've read his book. And, you know, I just want to be able to double my income this year by tenfold. I want to be, you know, instead of making $22,000, I want to be making $60,000. How can I do that?
Yeah, so look, like, everything can be backed into this. Number one thing you have to do is you have to look in the vehicle that you're in, meaning the job that you're in, how you make money. And the most important question that you have to be able to answer is this: can you make more by doing better? Can you make more money by doing better? Like, if you did better, if you did more of what you do, will they pay you more money to do it? That's a fancy way of saying, do you make commissions on what you do? If you do, then you have been given a gift, because you have control over your income. If you have a salary, you do not have control. You work 10 hours, you work 8 hours, and there's no bonuses involved, like, you have no control. If you get a salary and you can do a great job and then you get a bonus, then you are in control of your income. Sales is like the uncapped, limitless job that you can have. And so it all comes down to math, Sean. All you got to do is take the $60,000 target that you have and back into what you need to do today in order to hit the target. Just like the previous guy, David, was saying, he said, man, I want to make $1,000 a day. I just want to get to $1,000 a day. I would just suggest that you go through, and let's just say you're in the CBD business right now, and you got to sell, $8,000 worth of CBD gummies for you to make whatever your target is. Then how many customers do you normally need to see in order to sell those $8,000 worth of product? How many customers have to walk in to convert? How many customers have to call in to say, yeah, I'm going to come in and do this. I want to set an appointment up to come with. Like you got to go back into all of the numbers so that you can go, where can I influence this to accelerate? Where can I create more flow? Where can I create more traffic? Where can I create an opportunity for me to continue to do better? Because everything, once you get into a sales role, and I'm like, okay, if I do X, I'm going to make 5. If I do X and Y, then I'm going to make 8. If I do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to make 12. Like, you can literally break everything down to the math. And so for you to fix your mindset, you've got to start writing goals down, and you've got to get around better people. Like, you have to write down on paper what you think a 10 out of 10 looks like. And when you're writing it, you got to write, instead of just like excited, you have to write, I am excited. Instead of persistence, you have to write, I am the most persistent person on earth. Like, if it's attitude, I have a attitude that cannot be broken. Like, you need to write these things down and like help yourself get through like stuck, because 2 or 3 out of mindset is like you're stuck. And you got to start changing things. You got to start thinking bigger. You got to start getting clarity on the thing that you want, on the goals and the targets and the dreams. Like, you got to get clarity on where you want to go, because until you get that, you're always going to be down at a 1 or a 2 or a 3 with mindset, because you haven't found anything that's exciting enough to like actually make you move for. Like, David's like, man, I almost got in the truck and drove down here. Well, why didn't you? Something stopped you. I think he said he has a girl and a kid, so that's a good reason not to just like throw the towel in and just go to Miami, But you just have to start telling yourself who you want to become. And I think for a lot of people, they answer, I'm a 2 on mindset, a 3 on skill set, and a 1 on discipline, because they really don't know who they are or who they want to be. And it has nothing to do with the job that you have. It's the outcomes that you're looking for in life, not the job. The job is a vehicle. It's a car. You take it to get from point A to point B. What's most important is where you want to go. Because your car could be a train, it could be a boat, it could be a jet, it could be a fucking jetpack. It could be, your vehicle could be anything. What's most important is where you're going. And without clarity on that, dude, you're always going to be lost. All right, so guys, hope you enjoyed the show today. 3 things that are required for you to win in life: mindset, skill set, and discipline. Rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. Post in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today, and we'll see you guys right back here next week on Young Hustlers.